guys. Welcome back to another episode.
I feel like I can't hear her.
Okay, ever since not having the headphones, I just feel like I need to shout. Can we get in-ears? Like, I need to hear myself.
What'd you say? Can we what?
Get in-ears?
What is that?
Well, I don't know.
Hearing aids?
No. I mean, in-ears I know are like
The world's smallest Bluetooth.
on the worship team and they have them in.
Oh, yeah.
But then I think you can just hear yourself in them. But normally it'll be like a click track.
Oh,
like a metronome going.
Oh.
I don't need that. I don't need to be on time. Well,
well, we're doing our submission episode today.
yes.
We asked you guys to please submit advice to your younger self.
I'm so excited to get into this episode and talk about advice. But before we get there, I have to share a couple things, new tips and things I've added to my routine. One of them I heard on Instagram the other day, and this girl was like talking about universal girl experiences and something that like any girl can say. And it's like, we've all said that or been there. And so this week I was just thinking like, oh, what are other ones? So the one this girl said was like, yeah, I'll probably get a boob job but like after I have kids.
Right.
Which is just funny that something people always say, which actually I wouldn't now knowing what we know about implants. But anyway,
I would.
So that was it. That was that. No, you won't.
I will.
You can get fat transfer.
Or reduction. How about that?
Okay. But then the other one, and I want you to think, this is putting on the spot if you can think of anything that's just like all girls have experienced this. But you know, when you paint your nails, like full old school nail polish before bed.
It's always before bed.
It's always before bed. You're always too tired. And it's like, oh, but I have to. And tomorrow I got to wake up, wash myself, tan it. Like you're always painting the nails before the event. And you're obviously down bad if you're painting.
It's true.
But you know the feeling where you're like, okay, they look good. I can go to bed. Like, are they dry enough? And you wake up and you have imprints from your sheets.
Or they're just off your nails, like, and onto your skin. Like, they just have completely smudged off.
Fingerprints all over them.
Yeah. Hair, like, feathers.
Yes. Can you think of anything? Universal girl experience, like in the bathroom or your makeup.
I don't know. I feel like anytime I'm on my period, I get the boldness to wear the most white like I ever have.
Yes.
So, yeah, that's what comes to mind for me.
That's true. It's always like, I'm always like, well, I'm basically done.
Yes.
But I like want to be wearing it.
Or somehow my closet is just white.
Yes.
So dumb.
Abby, before we started, said she felt like a potato and I wanted to open it up and call you a little spud. A little Idaho spud.
I told Bailey I feel like Mandy Moore from Walk to Remember with her little sweater and slash potato, but that's okay.
I feel like that too. It's like cutesy Sunday school sweater.
Who's ready to dance?
Praise the Lord. Okay, another thing I wanted to report back and tell you guys about. Abby has got an earful of this. Have I ever talked about my beef supplements?
You have not. And I've been waiting for you to talk about this.
I need to order more today. It's been a month. It's been a month.
You're like 80% beef.
It's in a month of taking beef organs.
I can't.
When you text me, what did you say? Bailey, tell me about the beef
or animal organ pills you're taking or
whatever. It was funnier.
Yeah.
Whatever. So there has been studies to show how beneficial it is to, and it's a capsule, okay? I'm not like out here eating liver. I was telling a client about it yesterday and she grew up in Europe and she's like, oh, but I like love liver. Like we eat and prepare liver, like it's good. So anyway, it's really great for hormonal balance and I feel like it's helping my skin so much.
Your skin does look great.
I have like one big pimple over here. I was like, great, I'm on this side. But then also, you guys, I've started putting beef tallow, which is beef fat.
This is new. I don't know this.
Beef tallow?
You haven't told me this.
Oh, really?
Okay.
I started
You
them
went
at
from
the same
80% beef to 90. What is with the
tallow? The fat. It is literally the best moisturizer under the sun.
Oh, does it smell like beef?
Nope, it's purified. I got it on Etsy from like a little farm and you can make your own. And I won't make my own for my skin because it goes through like a rigorous purification process, which I don't even know what that is. But
don't you have to have a cow or something?
Well, no, you get beef fat when you cook meat, not milk. You're thinking milk. Yeah. From the tongue. I'm just kidding.
Ew.
Okay, anyway, so it has so many benefits like vitamins for your skin, nutrition. It's great for, I think it might be antibacterial. It's great for acne prone skin. You can even use it on your baby's diaper rash. You can use it on anything, on your
What about
elbow
eczema?
creases. Yes, it's so good for all of that.
Okay.
You have to try it.
I
And
will.
on Etsy,
So it's super oily?
yeah, but it's whipped. It literally feels like you could like put your finger in it and it would sink to the bottom. Like
Okay.
it's like on Miss Doubtfire when she like tries to put the cream on her face.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, like whipped cream.
So my thing with like lotions, oils, my whole life, I've been trying to find like the best for my eczema is I don't like a moisturizer that I can like feel on my skin the entire day. So would you say it's absorbent?
Yeah, so at night I lay it on a little thicker
Yeah.
and then in the morning I still put it on before like my makeup.
On your face, all over your face?
Oh yeah. And it feels like after it's on, like, and especially because I apply more at night, like if you were to go like this, you would feel it come off
Mhm.
and it could feel maybe like what you would maybe feel like I wouldn't pick up Soldier and kiss him because his hair would stick to my face.
It would?
Yeah, but it feels so
I still want to try.
hydrating. Like in the morning, I don't feel greasy, but I feel
Okay.
hydrated.
So you like wash your
It
face.
might bother
You
you.
like wash it off your face.
No. Well, yeah, in the morning I wash my
Okay.
face. So yeah, I guess. And then I
Okay.
put it on again.
Cool. Well, I would love to try.
Yeah, it's great. You can even put it on your lips. Like a little
Okay.
lip balm.
No smell.
No
or-
smell. Get
Okay.
unscented.
For sure.
And on the shop, you can get on Amazon too, but the size for the cost was like way cheaper and it feels like better
Hmm.
going to this from this like farm than
Yeah.
like random Amazon whatever.
I love that. And you're like
Um,
supporting someone's farm.
Yeah. And it was like all the comments are like the only regret is that I didn't get the biggest one.
Oh,
And
wow.
I'll get the biggest one next time. Yeah.
They only had one review and that was it.
No, they had a
I'm
lot.
just kidding.
It's so good.
Cool. So today we are reading your submissions. We prompted you guys, asked, what advice would you give to the younger you? And I'm so excited to go through all of your guys' submissions. I briefly like skimmed them on my way here, and there's a lot of good stuff in there.
Oh, I'm so excited.
Yeah. But before we dive into those,
Mhm.
did you come up with any advice or think about that before?
Oh yeah. There's a
Uh-huh.
couple things, like practical things, not so deep, and then also deeper stuff. I just started like writing a list last night. I was talking to my sister and I'm like, gosh, I feel like you could take this any direction and just like, I hope anybody could give their younger self advice. So yeah, you want me to just go into it?
Do it.
I said this on Instagram on our caption, but I told this to Abigail when she got a big girl job. I knew you'd be feeling so proud of yourself. It has benefits, all the things. And it might sound silly, but don't get off your parents' insurance. I was 19 when I started at a job that had benefits, and I was like, Mom, Dad, it's been nice, but I am a woman now. And I can do this. And my dad's like, see ya. Like he wasn't, I'm like, Dad, why wasn't he like, no, honey,
Less money for them?
geez, I guess. And so I got off insurance and then I went through a period of time where I like didn't know how open enrollment worked. I missed open enrollment. I didn't have health insurance and it was just a really stressful year. And anyway, don't get off your parents' insurance, okay? I think it's 26.
Yeah, you gave me that advice years ago, and I've always put that in my back pocket.
Do you think
And
you
I've
would have
even
been
shared,
like,
I've shared that with other girls.
do you feel like you would have been like, well, why not? Or no?
Maybe.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. I feel like you told me that
Why
at a
did-
young age. And so, because you're, so much older than me.
Right.
I'm just kidding.
I
But I'm about to
just-
be booted off my parents.
I know.
Yeah.
Oh, another thing that I wrote down that I'm still learning about. Actually just this last week, it really popped up on my For You page. And I think it's so helpful. This is again practical. Figure out your color scheme, like what season works for you in
Yes,
your
yeah.
skin, your eye color, your hair color. And then to take it a step further, there was this girl that created a filter, and it's basically just a black and white filter. And it's to indicate if you are high, medium, or low contrast. And so with that, for example, like Anne Hathaway is considered high contrast. So you pick your skin tone, whether it's like fair, medium, or dark, and then it'll show you like with the black and white filter, basically like if your eyebrows look black and then like other parts of your face, there's just like lots of contrast happening. You'd be considered high contrast, but like I'm low contrast. I don't know if you'd be low contrast or more medium contrast. It sounds counterproductive, but if you are high contrast and you want to have like the no makeup look, because like your brows are so bold, maybe your eyes are darker and like your lips probably have a lot of pigment to them. You actually need to put more makeup on to balance out the rest of your face to make you look softer.
Interesting.
But when you have low contrast, like when I wear heavy eye makeup, it's too much on
it's
me.
like heavy.
It overpowers my features. Where like someone with high contrast, they want to look softer, they need more. But my features not being high contrast, you need less.
Right.
So with that said, and then I think like find a celebrity that you have the same like palette. Look at them for hair trends, because I have so many clients that bring in pictures that are like beautiful inspo, but it's not going to look the same on them. And so just some advice, like find someone who has the same, doesn't mean you can't change your hair, but there's like a whole realm of change you can do, but just would be most complimenting to you.
Yeah. And that's a world that you know really well, like just colors in general.
Yeah.
That's really good advice.
And
like
I
when
think
it comes to like your makeup choices or hair color choices,
yes.
even cut.
Yeah.
Any other advice?
I said, don't live with your boyfriend, LOL. We all know my journey, and I want to get into that a little bit more on maybe the next episode we do. But there's just been a lot that has come from after Jordan and I have decided to not live together right now. And it's all been so good. And I am shouting it from the rooftops. Like my life is forever changed better for making this hard decision. And it's not all unicorns and rainbows. Like I was crying the other night, like this is just hard. I'm excited to live together again, but like I'm really happy right now.
I'm so happy for you guys, and I'm so proud of both of you.
Thank you.
I'm really looking forward to getting to know the ins and outs of how all of that is going. I get tidbits from you, but I don't really. You seem like you guys are doing really well. So I'm happy for you guys.
What about you?
Yeah, so my bit of advice that I would tell the younger me, I think when I was younger, the role models or the example that I had being my family, my parents, and they've changed and grown so much. But when we were younger, we didn't really like have hard conversations. I was feeling a certain way. It was kind of like, sure, I would like tell them I'm sad or something, but that was that. And it was just like, oh, Abby's sad. That's that.
Yeah.
And so I got in this habit of just not talking about my feelings. And that has kind of followed me into my adulthood, where to this day, I still have a hard time understanding my own feelings. So if I were sitting with younger Abby, I would just tell her to talk about your feelings with someone.
Yeah.
If your family isn't that someone, that's okay. Talk about it with your best friend, someone. Because that's something hard to deal with in your adulthood, especially when it comes to your relationships.
Yeah. I couldn't agree more. One of the things actually I wrote down is to prioritize learning clear communication. And I feel like that's, one and the same. And just how to own what is yours to own and not carry what's not yours to own.
Right.
And easier said than done. But I think learning these things if you don't grow up in a family that tackles these things head on, learning them in your early 20s, like just drastically can change your relationships for the rest of your life. Because it's like you will parent your children different from what you've learned in this time.
Yep.
And, from your childhood on, it's like, that's all we're ever trying to do is get better. Right.
Right.
But yeah, I think that's really, really important advice.
And I would hug her too.
I know. Oh, geez. What I would do, and I would help her.
I would take a makeup wipe to her eyebrows. To her eyebrows. That's what I would do. Why such a heavy hand on the brows, Abigail?
Oh, I would comb out the butt cheeks I had on top of my head.
Dude. Bump it on both sides.
Oh my gosh. My hair was wretched.
It's so much healthier now.
Jeez. Less is more.
Yeah. Okay, so we are just going to go back and forth reading your guys' submissions now. Trust your gut. A woman's intuition is never wrong.
Mm,
It's true.
that's true. And the Holy Spirit. Enjoy positives of each season. Be as present as possible.
He's not going to be cute in 15 years. He's probably bald. He's not worth it. That's funny.
True. I remember going through like our mom's yearbooks, and I'm like she would show someone on Facebook and comparing, and I'm like, that was him.
Yes.
Whoa.
So sad.
Yikes. I feel that way about some people I went to high school with. I'm like, stop eating the chemicals. You're down bad. Anyway, you don't need to have alcohol to have a good time.
That's so true.
Yeah.
Trust your instincts. God is giving you a warning with that red flag or off feeling. It's so true.
Mm-hmm.
It's not just in your head. It's an intuition that you should listen to.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a nudge for
a
sure.
Holy Spirit nudge.
Don't allow previous generations' expectations to dictate how you do your life. I feel like that's even like when it comes to parenting and stuff,
Yeah.
like in the future, there could be a lot of pressure from like, well, that's not how it was for us.
Right. Yeah, I like that. Work on finding your value as a woman through what is on the inside, not the outside. Pursuing health can cross over into idle territory more easily than you think. You are good enough. The Lord made you perfectly. We are all flawed, but his design is not. Ugh,
That's
come
good.
on. That is so good.
That is really
I
good.
love that. I needed to hear that.
I actually just finished reading this book called You Are Not Enough, and That's Okay. And it's basically saying that, even though she said whatever. But it's basically saying we were designed not enough, so we need God. And it's so good. It's by Allie Beth Stuckey, and it's really good. Don't make decisions out of fear. Fear steals growth and joy. Those who stand best kneel most. Never underestimate the power of prayer.
So good.
Abby! She's got the giggles.
It's like when you're told you can't laugh, and so it's worse.
You can laugh.
You told me I couldn't. Just kidding. Okay. Confidence and strength comes from getting through hard situations.
Like this one.
The obstacles you go through will give you so many tools that you'll use for the rest of your life. Like this. But it's like the episode you and I were talking about. There's an issue and an obstacle. Good. It will make me stronger.
I know. And just like, I'm seeing more and more how like God brings like the most little things to just stop. It's just like the most minute detail of things. And then you see the big picture and you're just like, oh yeah, that had to happen so that that would happen. Yeah. Learn what is in our food. Do your own research.
Did you submit that one?
I did just write the other one.
Did you really?
Yeah. Well, not just wrote it, but last night when I was writing the ones down from Instagram, I was like talking to Mikey about something about food, and I was like, I'm adding that. It's so true. Our food is poison, and if you hear this, it means I'm not being shadow banned, and I probably will be after this. Our food,
Yeah.
trash.
All of it.
Learn about ingredients. That's all I say.
Take accountability for when you do wrong instead of burning bridges by not admitting you're wrong sometimes.
That's
Ugh.
good.
I did that for way too long when I was younger.
And I feel like it's one of those muscles you have to constantly exercise to keep,
Yeah.
because you could easily slip back into bad habits and not taking accountability.
Yeah.
And I think I just feel like more now, the more I'm consistently drawing close to the Lord every day, the easier it is to remember how to behave, like as a good friend, as a sister, as a
good
daughter,
girl.
as a good girl in my sweater, you know?
No, that's so true. And I remember when I started practicing like being humble, like during a conflict of like, you know what, this is where I went wrong. It feels like, oh, I don't want to say this, uncomfortable, but after it comes out, gosh, it just feels so much like pressure has been lifted off of your shoulders. And yeah, It's good.
Oh, this was mine too. I just have a lot to say. Learn how to cook. It's not that hard to make things from scratch. Like Mikey and I last night were talking when she first got married. She was like, I would just see Kyle's mom. She's like, I know you can make frosting. Like, I know that that's an option. I just didn't know it was that easy.
Mm.
Like, there's so many things like that. And we both were saying last night, this is embarrassing, but we found that we had both had pretty parallel conversations with our significant others when we first met about how raw meat looks versus how it looked in my parents' house. My dad always cooked chicken breast from frozen, always. And I don't really think you're supposed to do that. He would like put all of these frozen chicken breasts and just be like low and slow, baby, and just like put it on low. So it's basically like thawing and cooking, which I think is how you can get sick
Oh,
if you like
I
don't
didn't
thaw
know
your
that.
meat first.
Yeah.
You can't cook
I've
it from
always grown up like,
frozen.
yeah,
Thawed.
thawing it first, but I
Yes.
didn't know you could get sick.
I think, yeah, bacteria,
Mm.
because it's like, I don't know science, but yeah, I remember Jordan cooking for me the first time, and I'm like, I know what raw chicken looks like. That chicken just looks different from the chicken that my dad makes, and I knew nothing how to cook. So, and it's really not that hard.
Don't be such a people pleaser. You'll find the friends who will stick by you through thick and thin. You don't need to be something you're not to have someone in your life.
Mm,
It's good. Be you. Be you. So much
mhm.
easier said than done
I know
in this world, but
the
be
people
you.
pleaser thing. Yeah, it's hard, but again, it's like the more you draw close to the Lord, the easier it is to like not feel the heaviness of like letting people down.
Yeah.
Because if it's like I've prayed about it and I know that that's not something that's a good decision for me, or
Mhm.
it's just too much on my plate,
Yeah.
and I feel peace about saying no, I I don't really wrestle with like, oh, like I might
Yeah.
feel kind of bad, like, oh, I know that'll bum them out,
Yeah.
but I don't carry the same weight like I used to.
Yeah. I'm so
Mhm.
proud of you. I feel like you've come so far in that area.
Thank you.
Yeah. Honestly, that Ording is a small town in such a big world. You don't need to stress about the little things or bullying because there is a bigger spot in life for what you were meant to do. Yeah, and that's relatable too for where I grew up in.
Yeah, getting out of the small town and realizing it's not the world.
Yeah,
These people, the views, the way what you do for
everything.
fun.
Yeah. I think, there were so many great things about growing up in a small town. When I was young, it was so much fun. Everybody knew everyone. But like growing up, I look back and I feel like my dreams were small.
Mhm.
My plans were small, my prayers were small.
Mhm.
Like I just wasn't exposed to so much in the world that I just thought very small.
Yeah.
And again, like that's cool. Like it protected me from a lot of stuff too. But I don't know, pros and cons.
Yeah.
Just because you want to fit in doesn't mean you have to change everything about you because when you graduate high school, those girls you will never see again.
Mhm.
Yeah, I definitely spent a lot of years being a chameleon, just wanting
Mhm.
to be accepted by every single type of group.
Mhm.
Um, hello, Enneagram 3. I would tell myself to keep being weird, don't become lukewarm, and don't let the little things bother you. I was homeschooled for a few years, but attended the local high school for choir and swim. It was easy to make friends, but difficult to extend trust to others and find good friends. I didn't get into the wrong crowd, more like I got into a lukewarm crowd. They weren't bad, just lukewarm and reckless about several things. Things like youth group, music concerts, team bonding, good saving habits, etc., started to become points of embarrassment for me. Phrases like, isn't youth group for little kids? And you do that opera shit? And why and why are you such a penny pincher? Are your parents poor? Didn't hurt at first, but over time created a wall. I didn't realize it at the time, but I was becoming who I hung out with, and it really hurt my relationships at church, relationships with my parents, in parentheses, who were going through a divorce at the time. My musical opportunities with worship team and in choir, I had almost threw out one of the most important relationships with my piano mentor. I had actually won a piano contest that year, but because I was lukewarm, I didn't follow through with logistics and lost my spot. Altogether, I would definitely tell my younger self to continue to walk in boldness because God is definitely not lukewarm.
Mm. Wow, that's so
Yeah.
good.
And thank you for sharing your story too.
Yeah.
There was a lot of detail and I love that.
Oh, yeah. That's so, also
Relatable.
relatable, yes,
Yeah.
because it's so easy to, like, find yourself there.
Yeah.
I have many of different seasons where it's just
Mhm.
like, "Pull yourself together. What am I
Yeah.
doing? I need to be stretched. I need to be
Yes.
uncomfortable," or like you're saying, like, I've put my biggest dreams in this tiny box.
Yeah. Yeah. And it's so true who you hang around
Mhm.
is who you become.
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden you're like, oh shoot, like who am I?
Yep.
Yeah. Been there. It's okay not to do the college route or do it right away. Timelines are artificial and just focus on the next right move for you. Also, we all become our parents. It's not as scary as it sounds. It's in the little things. We're not so different from each other, and I learn that more and more every day.
Mm.
Love that. I always say, like, whose timeline are you on?
Mhm.
You're on your own timeline, and
Yeah.
God has a plan for you and a purpose for you. Like, stop stressing about it.
Yeah, 100%. And even just to touch on the college route thing, Jordan and I talk about like, I can't wait someday. Like, if my kid wants to be a doctor, lawyer, something like that, for sure, go to college. But there's so much opportunity outside of that and to not be in like hundreds of thousands of dollars in debt.
Mhm.
And there's just ways that I can see that like creativeness was fostered in both Jordan and I, for example, which we didn't go to college to do what we both do now.
Mhm.
And I think that there's a lot of people who are creative that feel like they have to go through these steps because that's what they do in their family and that's
Mhm.
just blah 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 blah. But there's so many more options.
Yeah, totally.
Yeah.
I feel like our parents' generation or maybe like millennial
Uh-huh.
generation seem like to be the last generation of like that's what you do.
Yeah.
Would you agree?
I mean, I think colleges aren't going to go anywhere.
No. No, no, no.
But like, yeah, I think even just with social media, it's like people like Filson in her first grade class, kids are like, I want to be an influencer, blah.
Yeah.
And so it's like that whole space, it's like maybe is like, well, not everybody can like it just evolves because it's
Yeah.
like what worked for that person then is different now. But
Mhm. And I feel like it has so much to do with who you know these days too for
mhm,
career opportunities. My brother-in-law, he has a position, a very good position with a very big company from a Twitter comment. Like
mhm.
it's who you know.
Yeah,
And like taking
100%.
chances and
Oh, yeah.
yeah.
My dad used to always say, find what you love and like work backwards. Cause if you love what you do, you'll never work a day.
Yeah.
And obviously, work is work. But like, I know that I love people. I know that I like to chat. I like hair. And like, that's where I found like, I really do love doing hair. And I feel like I always tell people it's like this much about the hair and like so
Mhm.
much more about like,
Relationship.
yeah. And
Mhm.
it's fun.
That's great. Offer to be bigger help and carry more of the heavy load for my single mom. She had to care for 3 kids and work to provide for us.
Mm, I don't know how single parents.
I don't know.
I babysit for an afternoon and I'm like, "Help."
I know. I don't know how my parents did it, being the 2 of them.
I know.
It's seriously a superpower.
Oh my gosh. Like, I genuinely, like, don't know how single parents do it, like, in this economy. Like, all jokes aside about, like, finances and, like, truly in this economy, but, like, your time, like, I don't know how there's enough of you to spread, and I just feel like a lot of times single parents try to go above and beyond to make their children feel seen and heard and loved more
Yeah.
than, like, families that have 2 parents that are
Yeah.
just like, "Have a busy life."
Yeah. Never settle. Follow your gut in each part of life. Be your best self and give your all always. Don't worry so much of what others may think and try not to compare your life or season you're facing with someone else's. Certain parts may look different to others, but always do what suits you in that moment.
Yeah, that's good.
I would tell my younger self that friends come and go, but family does last forever. Now, when I think back more in my high school years, I seem to sometimes prioritize not only my time with my friends more, but also my emotions and energy. It was like I would almost push my family to the side or just have my only focus on friends, that I never had the same energy or attention when it came to my family at home.
Mm,
Now that I'm older, I have realized most of those friends were just chapters in my life, but family is the entire book, and I appreciate them so much for always being there no matter what. They are my best friends, and I would not be here without them. That's so good, and I
Mhm.
relate to that a lot, a lot.
Mhm.
I feel like I always had, like, a big group of girls around me growing up in high school, and every single weekend we were together. A lot of the times we would be at my house,
Mhm.
but we're just always about each other,
Mhm.
and that's so relatable. I remember, like, getting home after a weekend and just being exhausted, tired, and, like, not wanting to really hang out with my family.
Mhm.
As, like, close as I was with my family, like, close,
Mm.
like,
Mhm.
we were cool and, like, could talk about really anything except for our feelings, but, like, yeah, I just didn't spend that quality time with
Mm.
my family.
Mhm. Yeah, I relate to that too, and I mean, I feel like I also felt really close with my family, but, I think the older I've gotten and even just to see my sister as a mom and the way that, like, it bonds her and my mom, sometimes I'm kinda jealous. I'm like, "I can't wait to have kids," because I feel like they connect on, like, just in a different way,
Yeah.
and even my sister moving away and coming home, it's like it's the most important relationships are my family,
Yeah,
and it's the most powerful, honestly,
totally.
because it's like they know you to your core, and I feel like friends, we can, like, chameleon and, like, show this part of ourselves or that part of ourselves, but with family, it's like, "This is me, and you
Yeah,
know me," and I
yeah,
think it's like that's where sometimes you wanna hide because you don't wanna hear what they have to say,
yeah,
and
yeah,
yeah,
or
that's
you're
really good.
scared you're not gonna be accepted,
Yeah.
whatever. Cherish your youth, your skin, your metabolism, your physique. I took all of that for granted when I was younger, and when you get older, you realize how good you had it. Wear your sunblock and take care of yourself, not only physically, but mentally. So good.
Okay, I gotta be honest, I don't know if I heard someone say that when I was in my early 20s. I did take advantage, and I remember being up late eating Taco Bell, and I'm like, "I ain't gonna be able to do this forever." I remember being like, "Give me the crunch wrap." Yeah, because it's
Supreme.
yeah. Oh, yeah.
I
I remember
love
being
that.
like, I'm relishing in it because my mom would always be like, "Don't stop moving your body," like, or just hearing your metabolism, like, "You
Yeah.
can't lose the weight like you could when you were younger, blah, blah, blah."
Mhm.
I remember being like, I'm relishing.
Yeah. Yeah, I know. It's so good though. Like I didn't start wearing sunscreen like before putting on my makeup until um where I work now. Like the women there have like taught me of
Mhm.
this and have like showed me like take advantage of your
Yeah.
youth right now.
I think it's, like, important too, if you don't have coworkers who are older than you, like, get close to women who are generations older than you.
For
There's
so many reasons.
so many reasons, but there's so much wisdom, like, yeah, it's like at work, that was always the topic of conversation is, like, beauty and how do you know,
Yeah.
preserve what you got and your metabolism, eating healthy, but then it's also, like, at church, like, spiritually, like, I just brought Gaga to Bible study with me, and it was so good, and we were all at the end of it crying and just, like, the wisdom that she's speaking on was, like, so relatable to, like, specifically what one of the other girls was going through, and just, like, there's so much power in wisdom.
Each day is a gift. Enjoy every minute. Tomorrow is never guaranteed. That old saying, stop and smell the roses, is real. Slow down and enjoy the simple and small things each and every day. Lastly, work to live, don't live to work. It took
Mhm.
me years to realize this. We are all replaceable. Take pride in your job, but remember it's not everything. Family and happiness comes first. I
Mm.
love that.
Yeah, that's so true.
Relationships can end and it's not your fault, nor are you responsible to kill yourself to save them. Your mental health comes first, and if that means cutting ties and moving on, then you shouldn't hesitate, especially if the other person isn't doing their part. F them. Block them and be done with it. Dragging it out leads down a dark hole you have to climb out of.
Mm.
Big decisions seem life altering and sometimes can be, but almost always aren't. You end up on your feet, you find happiness, and you end up in the place you were supposed to be. And maybe there are two places you're supposed to end up. But the one that you chose is the one you stick with and don't look back. Don't let the pressure of a big decision destroy you emotionally. Think through it and choose. That's good.
It's really good.
Yeah. This is good stuff, you
You
guys.
guys are wise.
Yeah.
I love
I
it.
wish we could have all of these people on.
I know. I wish it wasn't anonymous.
I know. Family may always be there, but make more of a point to reach out. Find a time that works better for you, like a drive to work, and make the calls. You will find you enjoy them and the connection with your family and or friends. It's
Mm-hmm.
good. Be present in every scenario. It's so easy to get caught up in the day-to-day details or stressors. Now I try to be very intentional about being present and looking back. I shouldn't worry so much about the little things because life is beautiful and I want to enjoy every moment. At this point, you guys are probably tired of my voice, so I'm going to pass this off to Bailey.
If they wanted to, they would. I follow this so much nowadays, and I wish I would have in my 20s. That you are beautiful. Growing up, I was bullied from the 4th grade until senior year of high school. This was by the same group of guy friends. I was constantly told that I have a big forehead and that no one would ever like me. Oh my gosh. I wasn't one of those girls who would dress up for school and date people. That was not my focus. I tried everything to hide my big forehead every day to just blend in so I wouldn't be bullied. I had ugly bangs and it just made it worse. It took me years to become confident in myself and truly believe that I am beautiful in my own way and no one can tell me otherwise. There are some days that I still do struggle with it and being down on myself and having body image issues. I would want to give my younger self a big hug and tell her she's beautiful. You'll make it out of this stronger and end up happily married.
Gosh, couple things. I'll make. I just want to hug her.
I know.
And thank you so much for sharing, especially about body image. That is so
Yeah.
hugely discussed between women, and it's something that we haven't talked too much about.
Yeah.
But I would really like to. But
Yeah.
thank you for sharing that and being vulnerable and opening up. That's something that I've always struggled with myself. So thank you.
Yeah. And honestly, too, I think it's so easy to be like tunnel vision. Like we think like my life is over right now. And like, just like you said, if I would have known I'm going to end up happily married, I'm going to be okay. I think there's so much power in living every day knowing you're going to be okay.
Yeah.
Like no matter what
Totally.
that looks like. And I think like having a relationship with Jesus just gives you that that blanket of peace of just
Yes.
like,
Yeah.
we're not even promised tomorrow. And like, I'm living and I'm breathing right now. And like, that's literally enough.
Yeah.
Like, I'm okay.
There's so much more that I want to add to
Yeah.
this, but we will be back.
I know we're kind of running out of time here.
Yeah.
You guys, thank you so much for all your submissions. We might do this topic again because we really did get so many submissions and it was so good.
Mhm.
We could compile this into a book. Like it's just
Serious. This is some really, really good advice. And I appreciate you guys taking time out of your day to respond to our Instagram stories. And we always love connecting with you guys like this. There's so many times where, like, how do we engage like with our audience? And this is the best engagement that we get is
Mhm.
these responses. So don't stop responding to our prompts. We have
Yeah.
so much fun with this.
Yeah, we will going forward probably like once a month or so be doing a listener submission episode. So, and even if there's prompts that you're like, ooh, do something like this, like send
Yeah.
us a message, give us a idea or whatever.
Yeah. That's great.
Yeah.
All right. We love you guys. I hope you have a great rest of your week. Until next time.
See you later.
See ya.
Bye.